Oh, thanks, guy. All right. Tonight's lucky numbers are 17, 32, and 3. You're watching 6 Deep. Yeet! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the greatest podcast of all time, 6 Deep, with your favorite hosts, Piss and Chris. That's right, the show where you watch two idiots drink 6 beers for your amusement.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Piss.
I'm Chris, and I really
Guy.
enjoyed the awkward lull at the top when the the intro was like...
They can't all be good. You
the
know?
intro was like, fuck you, and then I was like, you know what? This is kind of funny, just watching Piss, just hold, freeze frame, 80s sitcom.
You know what? I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it amused you. That's what
Freeze
I'm here
frame.
for. I'm here to service these young boys.
Yeah, you've said that already. Anyways.
Yeah. So, what do we got? What do we got in store for these wonderful people tonight?
We have a bunch of great stuff.
So much, actually, probably the best stuff we've ever come up
I
with.
think so. I
This
think
is
so.
guaranteed to be the best show. You're going to order the tapes right after we air this.
Starting off, I'm going to bitch about my neck injury, which really just happened because I was just standing. I think at 31, you can just be alive and shit just starts hurting. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
but I swooped in. I rubbed him down with some buttermilk.
Yeah, my guy blasted one on me here. It was nice. He's
getting
always
it
like,
in.
"You want me to shoot a hot, steamy back rub on you?"
Want me to rip some shoulder rub on you? Right there. Bam.
That's
The
so
stress
gay.
and the tension melting
gay.
away.
Here, check this out.
There's nothing gay about that.
Oh,
Nice.
that was
kicking
like
off 6 Deep.
super.
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
We need to get everybody up to speed with our level situation here. So I don't know if you need to prime a graphic.
Oh shit! Yeah,
That's right.
kid doesn't even have the lights on yet.
Well,
fucking one job.
going
He has.
to.
Fucking one.
I'm gonna
job.
have them on. I'm gonna have them on. They're coming on right now, and it's gonna be this one. Bam. Code level green. Code level green. Oh man.
So excited.
So since last time, Chris and I we were talking about it, and Chris, you said that you didn't like the fact that I was you don't like my facts anymore.
Oh no, I'm fine with the facts. Actually, I thought I thought last week was dope when we talked about Barney. That was my favorite thing on this whole show so far,
Dude,
Turns out Barney is a piss. I was like, oh, he's a sex trafficker.
Well, I was reading it quickly.
Barney owns a tantric sex studio in like fucking Casa Bonita.
Yeah, in my defense, you see more sex traffic than tantric sex on the
I
media.
just burped. There you go. That was a belch cheer from the kids. Thanks, kids. Anyways, but yeah, so he's teaching tantric sex to women for like $310 an hour or something.
$350.
$350. That's a pretty good.
That's a bargain for
So-
4 hours. That's
so,
under $100 an hour.
Just a real quick. Those kids are really happy today. Yeah, no. I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyways, $350 an hour to have sex with the guy who is in the suit. That's what I was gonna say. He's not the voice of Barney. He's the suit guy.
I wonder if that guy like the guy that does the voice. I wonder if he gets like some play because of that too. It's like
It's like, oh yeah, you want to have tantric sex? It's not me. Hey, I'm the voice of Barney. That guy's the fucking.
I love how I fixed the set like 2 seconds before we started the
break
show,
again?
and Chris already fucking broke the mic stand.
Is it
again.
broken?
Well, it'll hold. She'll
God.
hold. We literally
It's
had.
not that I
Oh, look at
broke
that!
it.
And the tape fell from the thing up top there.
For God's
The
sake.
whole
Hey, it
set
doesn't
is
look
falling
too
apart.
bad.
Nice.
Let me just crop out the sadness here. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't think they can see that.
Suck.
They can't see that.
Yeah, but the stand needs Viagra.
Oh,
Needs some Enzyte.
let me see if I can fix it on air. Should I
Dude,
do
yeah,
it? Let
do
me
some
just try
fucking
it.
live man stuff, and then when you do it this time, don't suck at it. Also, this kid really knows to put in 10% into everything he does.
I thought it was 100 or 10%.
That boy's got a whole lot of quit in him.
And then I say something.
And piss works. No, I was just letting people enjoy watching you Watching me, watch you, watch them, watch me right now. There you go. There you go. Really get her in there, buddy. Fucking get her in there. That's not good.
Hold on.
This is awful. But
She's in there like a rock now, boys.
Oh, shit, yeah. You know what? It's perfect. It feels great.
That's right. I hide a drill
feel
offset
healthy.
just for these kind of situations.
Yeah, there you
These
go.
chairs. 4 episodes in, still so uncomfortable. These are
Still hate
probably
these chairs,
the worst chairs.
and they're not flattering. They make us look even fatter than we are. Guess what?
Gut
We
cam.
gained weight a second week in a row, everybody.
Gut cam.
Coronavirus. Gaining our COVID-19.
Oh, dude, I think that everybody's just they're all gonna come out.
Who's getting fat, everybody? Can you
yeah.
just not text? Can you comment below?
Just give me an oh hell yeah, brother, if you're getting
Give him
fat
an
now.
oh hell yeah, brother, if
Yeah.
you're also gaining weight. I don't think a lot of people can avoid it because we're all just sitting home eating, and you can't really go out and do shit. I walk my dog every
Do
day,
shit.
but I'm not getting that extra ancillary.
Do shit.
When I go to the grocery store, I don't like walk around. I just want to like get in.
Oh god.
Get
Can
what
we
I want.
can
You
we
know
talk
what? No,
about
we're not. We went to the grocery store today, and I'm just like, I'm not fucking afraid of this shit anymore. I'm like, it's not a real thing or something. I don't know, because everybody's healthy around us, and we're not getting sick. Nobody we know is getting sick. So,
Can we talk about
Fuck
the
it.
laziest masks I've ever seen? By the way,
these
most
people all like they like virtue signal, but they're like wearing the mask like down around their chin or some shit. It's like that's.
or just people like tying
Why go through
T-shirts
the
around their
effort?
head, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't know if that does anything.
Yeah,
Does it?
I saw a lot of T-shirt masks today. That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And I think again, it's like some people just want to look cool. They're like, I can just walk in like a bandito
I guess.
and get my eggs and milk.
It's like, no, I'm worried about the virus. Oh, are you worried about these extra small condoms, sir? No, those are for me. Let's go. Ring them up.
Yeah, dude, maybe that's a good thing.
You
'cause
can make
then-
all your embarrassing purchases.
Yeah, it's like you needed 12 bottles of KY jelly lubricant, the strawberry flavor.
and a watermelon with a hole already carved out of it.
I was trying it on.
Do we sell
I
those?
was trying the fruit on.
Sir, were you trying the produce on?
Just trying it on.
Were you seeing if it would fit?
Oh man.
Gross.
Yeah,
mind is going to
can we
weird
talk about
places.
the best thing though that happened at the grocery store? I fell in love today, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, was it the chick?
Oh, I fell in love. We get all our groceries. We're walking to the checkout line. That was so weak. That doesn't deserve a full yeah.
Yeah, it just gets a little.
If Chris had a weak belch, give me a hell yeah, brother.
Give me a hell.
Give me a hell yeah.
Give me a hell.
No, I fell in love today at the grocery store. I feel like we've seen all the checkout girls. We've checked out all the checkout girls.
Oh, that makes.
He
it
was happy with that
sound
one.
Creepy. Okay, go for it. Piss
They're
is
checkout
fondling
girls.
these girls while they're working. Yes.
Never fondled them.
Oh.
Never fondled yet. But there's, I think everybody's realized this at their local grocery stores. It's like there was the checkout girls, and now there's the checkout girls post-COVID. It's the same women, but they're wearing masks now. And we go to a Safeway, which is a
Kind of see why the Middle Eastern guys do that.
yeah, right. I'm figuring it out. I'm learning about it.
You got
I'm learning about it.
You got
We're
ones,
thinking ISIS
twos,
might not have been
threes,
that far off.
all the way up to tens. But like when you put masks on all of them, you kind of average out because like when no chick's wearing a mask, you got tens. That's great, but you also got a whole hell of a lot of ones and twos to look at.
But let's talk
So-
about makeup, right?
So you
like
put
women,
the mask on, it's an average then. Now, now it drags the
Yep.
bad ones up to at
but
least
what does
like
that
a
mean?
4
What does
or
that mean? That
5.
means they've got this much real estate to
Yeah,
get
how
the
hard
hotness
is it to
across.
sell a lie with this right here?
Well, that's what
I
I'm
mean, you
saying,
could-
right? So all these women, they haven't been putting on makeup a lot lately because of COVID, right? They
no,
haven't been
yeah,
going
of
out of the
course,
house.
the
They've been wearing
virus.
sweatpants and shit the whole time.
Where-
But now they're wearing masks, right? They're going out in public and they want people. They're like, oh man, this mask looks dumb, so I better, Zatarans it up a little bit,
That was
And
so not a place for a Zatarans.
that wasn't a place for a Zatarans.
No.
You didn't need like a kick of spice in that one.
Doesn't
But
make sense.
I feel like because they only have this much real estate now to work with, that women are using the total amount of makeup that they've saved up over COVID from not wearing makeup. They're all doing like smoky eye and all this like crazy shit, and then they're putting their mask on. So give me an oh hell yeah, brother.
I think you just said it though. It's like they don't have to do their whole face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they're just doing the eye
net,
area.
the net amount of makeup,
and they're
that they
putting
have
the whole
to use.
face energy into just the eye.
Nailed it. That's
Eye
exactly what I'm saying. So now the eye region is just like top 10.
Eye region.
Because I feel like I don't know. I might be wrong because I don't know anything about makeup. This is not Jeffree Star's new channel.
Jeffrey Epstein, more like it. You fucking. I don't know. I have nothing.
We were gonna try not to swear on this
episode.
Oh
yeah,
like we try every episode, and we've ripped at least like 3-4 f-bombs already.
Man, I'm
really
I'm
going
already
off
down
the rails
for like
right
10
away.
of them. Oh, dude, we got to call up Ben.
I know we're gonna do that,
Dude. I don't want to forget that, though.
No, we are not going to forget that. Never hashtag never forget. That one worked. I'll give that one a. I'll let that one.
But we
slide.
can't forget Ben.
How would we forget Ben? That's the top of my list right now. Top of my list is finishing out this bit about the woman in the grocery store.
Okay, finish off the bit. Yeah, let's
Then
do it.
we're
And
gonna
then we'll
go
go
into
to we'll go to song
We'll go into
break.
the program.
We'll go to a music break.
Yeah, we'll go into a music break. We're gonna try and get our first guess of the new season. I don't know, because I guess it's not the beginning of the show. This is the newest
This is
season.
our first guest since we rebooted Six Deep. Yeah,
we usually we average a guest a season, and we average a season every 4 years, I think.
and we were thinking of all these super technical, awesome ways to accomplish making a phone call or video phone call.
We did none of them.
We're just gonna stick Piss's phone up next to the mic.
We're gonna use my phone.
We decided that would be, let's be real here. That's going to be the most realistic way we can actually get it done.
So we get to the checkout line.
Let's
right?
do it. So we're talking about the chick, the
We got
cashier, the female,
we're putting the stuff
in
up
the
on
store.
the thing, and I lock eyes
What would you say? Maybe
with
20
this-
years old, something
with
19,
this
20?
masked beauty.
She's easily 10 years younger than Piss, and probably has much better things going on than. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
She works at a grocery store, so clearly she has nothing better going.
Maybe
on.
she's dating a dentist.
You think a
Maybe
dentist
she's
is
one of
going
those
to
chicks
date
that
a
just
store
works
clerk?
for fun. I don't know. I don't pretend to know people.
Wow.
I'm
Dentists really got to
I'm
raise
here to
their
listen
standard.
to
That's
her.
the only thing I've learned
I
so
believe
far.
her.
in this episode.
And her
So I
story.
link eyes with her, and it's just instant erotic magnetism right away. She's feeling it. I'm vibing. It's feeling good. And then we get up close to the register, and I realize, shit, these are still the same chicks from pre-COVID.
Yeah,
they just put
didn't-
masks
they
on.
didn't just hire
and
a new
Safeway,
fleet
their
of hot bitch
Safeway, their
cashiers.
uniforms are black, so they gave them all black masks, to wear. So there's kind of this like sexy supervillain kind of thing going on with her. But we get closer, close the gap, and I realize, oh shit, this is just one of those basic store clerk chicks. So I don't know, is this a master plan from Safeway to just get people to come into their store? They'll be like, hey, you know what? Put the 5s in some masks. We need to raise them up to 8s. Get the eye makeup going. We got produce to sell here, people. There's shit rotting on the shelves. It's only so many times I can.
Yeah,
I
we
can
broke
re-dye
down
the
because we're
meat.
getting fat today. We finally got vegetables, and man, if you're like dealing with that kind of weird malaise, depression of just being stuck inside and not being able to do fun stuff, dude, vegetables. You get a bunch of bright colors and shit in your fridge. That's exciting.
Are you telling people to eat vegetables right now?
I'm just saying, go to the store and just fondle fruits and vegetables. Man, it's exciting.
Trying it on.
It gets all of your monkey senses going like super hardcore, and I found it to be quite pleasurable today. Anyways,
Yeah, well,
on to Piss. No,
can't
let's
say
do a
the same
music
for
break.
the cantaloupe though. But yeah, we're gonna kick it to a music.
They're gonna
break.
have. We made a mess out of that thing.
Yep, they're not gonna let us back in. Not after me eye raping the clerk and you raping the fruit. You're watching Six Deep, and we're gonna kick it off to our first music break, and we'll be right back after this bitchin' song.
So it's you at my door. She is huge. She wore a taller man's height or more. If it fails me, then it's not for sure. 'Cause I care. 'Cause I wanna be, and I gotta be, and I'll stay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are not alone. That's right, you're back here with your favorite host, Piss and Chris, back on the #1 podcast coming from our living room. That's right, 6 deep, ladies and gentlemen, taking the internet and YouTube and Facebook by storm. 2.2 billion potential followers.
This is my favorite part, the potential followers.
So much potential.
So you got a
So
story
much
for us,
potential.
Piss. Piss is some...
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are not alone.
kind of conspiracy story here? Some kind of...
There's no conspiracy. There is nobody conspiring. This is fully legit. This is CNN. They are known for not lying. We're not alone, buddy. We're there was
Spit
a
it out,
video.
Piss. Okay,
there was a
video?
video. Sorry, I was trying to get
Okay, so
my
Piss
shit together here.
has confirmed there is a video.
There was a video. This came out I think the end of 2015 or in 2016 or something like that. But remember the fighter jet that was tracking? It was kind of like a black and white video.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
a fighter.
Mexico, I think. It was
No, that's a different one. That's a good one too. But there was another
their
one.
Air Force.
There's a new one.
So there's a different one.
A newer one.
Yeah,
the
you
one
know what?
that
I
was in,
kinda remember
2015.
that.
Yeah, and so you're looking through like the cockpit fighter jet heads up display thing or whatever, and you see like a box tracking a UFO, and they're even like talking about it in the video and stuff like that. That came out like years ago.
Yes, it did.
And that was our guest saying that he's bailing on us, but we're hoping to get this sorted out sooner than later.
No, that's okay, man. He's doing his thing, and
Yeah, no, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities in the future to get that done.
that's cool. It was one of those wouldn't it be nice kind of things, and
Wouldn't it be nice?
But we'll be on here for a while, and things might change. Who knows? Anyways, back to
So there's a
fighter jets.
video.
Video.
The video starts up. It's a black and white video. You're watching through the cockpit, the fighter jet heads up display, and you see it tracking a UFO back and forth and stuff like that. The pilots are talking about it. You're hearing ground talk about it.
Okay.
And they said this was like back in whatever 15, 16, something like that, 2015, 2016. They said this is a confirmed video of UFOs caught by U.S. Air Force, and it's recorded on video, and the military is not denying it. They're not denying that it's a UFO. Well, anyway, I don't know why, and I think it's just salacious news to get us from
So
talking
they're
about.
not denying that it is something they can identify.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So by all definitions, it is a UFO.
It's a UFOMG.
UFOMG. That's
Dude, that's our new. That's
genius.
show name for
Somebody's immediately going to steal that.
Yeah, if people watch this show, I would be so.
I need to go to GoDaddy
afraid.
and get that in writing. Right
Get
now.
it, dude. We'll make another alien show. We used to have a show called UFO to Go.
Oh yeah, check it out on PNC's YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think there's a couple
all
episodes.
things Piss and Chris.
All
probably,
things Piss and Chris. Check it out, and then there is a.
and then you also have the full 6D playlist too. So if you just don't want this fun to end, and you're like, damn it, how do I keep this going as long as possible?
how do I
6D
direct
playlist,
inject Piss and Chris?
6D
just
playlist
mainline?
on all things PNC channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Washington, CNN, President Donald Trump on Wednesday called footage from the Pentagon showing unidentified aerial phenomena. Do you notice how they're changing? Nobody says UFO anymore. They're all saying, what is this? UAP. UAP, the unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what Hillary Clinton said last year or 2 years ago or something like that.
Yes.
Oh, that was such a weak one. Don't take it for such a weak one. Come on. Yeah. So, but Trump's not denying it.
Oh man.
And I just think that's nuts. He said it was a hell of a video. It was a hell of a video. And he told Reuters he wonders if it's real. I love how they put that in quotes. It's like, if it's real. You could have just wrote if it's real and not had a quote. President Trump. See, there you go. That one was worth it. That one was worth it. Earlier this week,
really
the
was.
Pentagon officially released 3 videos that show what appear to be unidentified flying objects rapidly moving while recorded by infrared cameras. Damn. Yeah, but no, check it out for yourselves.
Wait, hold on. Let me give it one of those.
Check it out for yourselves. Check it out. Go to YouTube. Just type in like Pentagon UFO. It'll pop up right away. It's a short video. It's like 1:20 long. It's not that like exciting of a video. You're just watching like a camera like following a little dot around the sky. It's just interesting that 2020 now we're talking about UFOs on a political level, and I can't feel like it's any more of a sham than it could possibly be.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I don't know if it's just because it's a new topic or something, but I saw a new UFO video on Facebook, of all places, so you know it's got to be super credible. And I can tell it's that, like, it's not motion capture, but it's like that program motion where you can anchor something to a spot in the video, and even though the camera moves, it moves with the camera movement. And so you can make a realistic-looking UFO video, but that's kind of a bullshit deal. Anyways, I saw one of those. It was like a thunderstorm, and then there's a UFO at the top of the video screen or whatever. And it always strikes me as odd when there's a gigantic UFO near you. You're filming it as the guy who did this or whatever, and you don't point the camera at the UFO. The UFO is always like in the corner of the frame and shit. It's like, really? That's not the thing you would want to capture? Holy
I
balls.
always,
That would be like middle of the fucking
I
shot.
always stand up for people who film UFOs because 99% of people who see UFOs don't film them, and if you do film them, you're what? You're pulling your camera phone out, or if this was the 90s,
Yeah,
you're
but the
like,
guy, like,
oh,
had
let
a
me get the
long,
home
sustained shot.
camcorder, honey, and put that, Did
the
you take the
UFOs
tape out
just,
from
like,
the kid's graduation?
just
I got to
out
film
of the
a
shot all the time instead of being like directly in the middle of the shot. I don't know. So
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of lame. It was a weak attempt.
The one that
I don't know. We looked at UFOs forever. Wait. I kind of feel like it's a bullshit story the government used when they were doing some other shitty stuff, and then they're like, "Hey, if anybody catches us on this, we'll call it UFOs." And then when military guys come up and ask us, we'll be like, "Hey, man, we can't talk about that. That's the UFO situation. You're not clear."
I told you not to talk about that.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I think that obviously the height of the UFO phenomenon came from like the reports of Area 51 being leaked. Like there people were in the Nevada desert and they would see some lights and stuff like that, and the rumors caught on, the white mailbox, all that stuff, and people started checking it out. It got a little bit too big, and so the government had to like widen out the perimeter to cut more area off so people couldn't get right up on the base. And then rumors started, and that started like the whole UFO kind of culture that happened in the mid 90s all the way out to like the early 2000s. And then they declassified Area 51. They're like, yeah, we just used it to investigate Russian MiG planes and stuff like that. And I think that's total BS.
But hold on, let's go back to your story here. What did Trump have to do with that at all? So there was a video that was released like 5 years ago of aliens or of UFOs in a.
Yeah, so online,
It's one of, and when they say infrared, it's like one of those things where it's like a black screen with like a bunch of white dots. You're not seeing like a UFO. Like,
no, it doesn't land
what
on the White
people
House
would
lawn
want
or
to
anything.
see. Yeah.
No, they were just saying the reason it's interesting news now is this video came out so many years ago, and people acknowledge. I mean, I acknowledged it. I watched the video and I was like, okay, well, they obviously caught something on the camera, or they didn't figure out what it was. That was the end of the video. That was the end of the investigation on it. And then years later, you have Trump as president, and Trump's like, yeah, it's some pretty real shit, guys. Like, it's pretty crazy. It came down from the sky. Our planes tracked it. They really did. They did some of the best tracking
So
I've ever
Trump,
seen.
wait. So when did this happen though? Is Trump on record?
This was recently. Yeah, this was the 30th of April. So that was
Why the fuck is he talking
holy
about
shit, how is it already the
UFOs?
third?
Why is he talking about UFOs during a pandemic crisis kind of thing? That should be another indicator that something here is fucky. I feel like anytime they whip out UFOs, it's like a clever distraction for the public. Because Bill Clinton was always getting caught with his dick out his pants, and he's always like, if I asked about UFOs and what was it? Like,
They didn't tell me.
if they knew
either.
about UFOs at the CIA, they didn't tell me either.
That was like such like a Obama Bill Clinton hybrid.
Anyways.
I'm sure the left is going wild right now. They'll probably vote you in just for that.
Oh, Blinton. Anyways, we need to move on to something else. Piss. What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, see, normally I come up with a theme
I'm
for a show. Chris
disheartened
was
by not seeing or not being able to chat with our
well.
guests.
You know what?
So-
Stuff happens,
I know. It just
and the
threw
show
me-
must go on.
It threw me personally, and so it's not that I'm hurt. It's just that I'm affected.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Is this one of those feelings things?
It is. I feel sad that I don't.
Well, I think we got to kick it to our sponsor real quick. Tonight's sponsor.
Let's talk to our sponsor.
If we can see this, can they see this right now?
Why don't you pull it over a
hold
little
on.
bit?
Back over here.
Yep.
Tilting.
Camera 2.
Bam. There you go. This is our sponsor for
Pointer.
today. Enemelitos. They make you want to eat us.
Cheetos.
Enemelitos. A Marquez Brothers Corporation. Compañía de México. Enemelitos.
They make you want to eat those.
Dude, yeah, we were at the grocery store. We saw a huge bag.
2 pounds of them shit.
Massive bag of animal cookies. Animal crackers. Why do they call them animal
You
crackers?
know what? Can you bust those open real quick? We wanted to keep them closed for our horrible bit, but that
You ate
was...
through the entire 420 episode. I'm not going to let you eat through this one, too.
Oh, that's a little kid
This show has some standards.
But I think it would be nice if we could try Mexican animal crackers just to see if they taste different than, you know,
Do you think that's what the fans want right now?
like.
Do you guys want us
American
to eat on the air
animal.
right now? Because we will. We will. I'm opening.
I want to eat one
I am
cracker.
opening the surprise of
How about I'll eat the
Enemelitos.
cracker and you can keep
What did you call me?
flapping your gums.
What
cracker.
did you call me?
I called you a piece of shit at the
That's
start
our
of the
word.
show, and I mean it.
They actually smell very nice. Enemelitos.
Wait, you're not supposed to eat. I'm supposed to eat because you're the guy who's got to talk. Now I gotta wait. I got
Dude, they actually taste like you know in Lucky Charms when
I don't know if that's
the
a
non.
cat or a dog. And then it's got like the Safeway logo in the middle of its chest. Is that part of the?
That is not part of the design, dude. Let me see
What
that.
is what is that? What is that? It's like a little. Looks like a butt.
Dude, that's the Safeway logo. That looks, dude. That you know what that is? That's a screw head. That's the head of a screw,
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
like a flathead screw. You
Yeah,
know,
the flathead screw of the machine like mashed it by accident or something.
only quality con animalitos.
Oh, they smell kind of vanilla.
Right, dude. When you try them, they taste like if you mixed Lucky Charms, the marshmallow with the non-marshmallow thing in the Lucky Charms. You know, animalitos.
That's pretty much exactly like eating the non-marshmallowy parts of. Lucky
That's what I'm
Charms.
saying. Yeah, and it
Like
brings
if
me
you
the
just
same
had a
amount
bag
of
of
joy.
those.
Yeah,
Bag of sadness.
$2.59 for 2 pounds. That's a value. Check out Animalitos in your store today.
It's got good mouthfeel.
It really does. I felt like it had
Had a
that
good
umami
leg.
flavor
Yeah,
that
did
I
have-
really was
Did have
requiring.
a little umami.
Yeah, the mouthfeel though was very pleasant.
Tasted like edamame a little bit.
Yeah.
We're both doing. Yeah.
Edamame.
I gotta smoke weed or something.
Um,
My chi got thrown off here.
How'd your chi get thrown off?
I don't know. I'm getting fat and kind of want to talk to Ben. We're gonna make corn later. I'm really
Oh, we're
excited
making
about
corn.
that.
Dude,
So I got fat guy thing where I'm just all I'm thinking about is food. We're gonna grill.
I learned something though today. Did you guys know? And comment below. This will be one of those like YouTube things. Comment below if you've ever heard of what
Nobody's
the
gonna
name. You know when
comment.
you open up like a corn on the cob, you open it right. You know you're pulling the leaves.
I've never opened.
You're
corn.
from Minnesota. You've opened corn before.
I'm corn fed. I've opened an ear or two.
Yeah, they usually just like cut open the bag
Came
of
from the
corn
state
feed
where I
and they
opened
pour it into
corn.
Chris's bowl. That's usually how he's fed. But corn on the cob, right? You peel the leaves back, right? You're peeling, and then
son of a
you get into you pull the leaves back, and there's all these like strands of stuff everywhere. You know what I'm talking about. You've shucked corn before.
Yeah, I think it's incorrectly referred to as silk.
No, that's the name of it. That's what they call it. They call it corn silk, and I never knew that.
Well, it's not silk.
Well, it's not technically silk. It's corn silk. It's the strandular material, strandification of corn strands.
The fuck are you talking about, dude?
Corn strands. What if you were in a survival situation? You had to like pair a needle with a piece of corn silk and
Dude, you could make
suture a
corn
wound.
silk cordage.
Cornage. You could make cornage with it.
Piss's favorite survival tool.
Well, I used to practice survivalism.
tell the whole story here, Piss.
I mean, I think we all still practice it in one way or another, but
Yeah, Piss is out there, man versus Wilding all
man
day.
versus piss. That's right.
I call him Les Piss all the time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Les
he bought
Stroud.
me Les Stroud, the guy from oh God, what is this show called?
Survivor
Man. Survivor Man. All right, I'm gonna give that kind of a lazy title because like
He's a
man,
man.
versus wild. That was Bear Grylls' show, and he'd go out and he'd say, in order to survive, you need to drink 2 liters of your own urine.
And you need to squeeze elephant
And you
shit
need to, if you're ever
over
in
your
this situation, you can take a piece of elephant dung, and you
Dung.
can
There you
squeeze it
go.
into your mouth for much needed water.
See, I think it's because alcohol affects the frontal lobe, and frontal lobe is where your decision making and human kind of stuff comes from. I think that's why we end up swearing a lot on this show, because you're drinking and then you're watching Piss and Chris every week as we ritualistically together disengage our frontal lobes. And see, I think that's. You know what? And for more on that, Dr. Piss is here to explain.
Chris, I know you probably didn't know that I had a PhD.
Does the P in PhD stand for piss?
It does. It really does. But
Piss
I've
huffs
done some.
dicks.
I've done some research. Okay, I've done some research. I figured out. I don't have a pen in here, but if I did,
Okay, so Dr. Piss is going to tell us.
there's a
About his
medical
research.
reason for why. I would like to know. We're running a study right now. Right behind the set here is actually a full-scale lab.
It's beautiful.
$20 million a year, very expensive, but it's worth it because the live show is just the science raw data they use, and they put that into their engine, the science engine, right? They open it up, they put the science in, and science data comes out. And they're finding out all the things about inebriation because of this program. We're actually solving the problem of what does your frontal lobe do when you get hammered.
Well, 6
on a
deep, you're actually just
bi-weekly
seeing like
basis.
a small fragment of a closed circuit feed it's just us getting drunk in this little box here, and all these scientists behind us are.
Yeet!
Pick it up.
Science.
Pick it the fuck up.
Science.
Kid
No,
just trashes the place. Fuck you,
I'm
scientist.
wearing
piss.
a lab coat right now, so automatically that means that I can say things about science.
You know what?
Like that.
I'm not gonna give you the children
What?
this time. You don't deserve their
You
cheers
said
of adulation.
You said children.
and
You know what that
praise.
reminded me of? Our favorite. We were talking about UFOs. You mentioned children. That can only mean one thing. David Hatcher,
Star Children.
Childress. David Childress. He's the guy. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? No, Childress is the guy in Ancient Aliens, and he's like, you're going underground. That seems kind of scary to me, So he built his whole fortune on writing books like about the whole Ancient Alien thing, and apparently it's not paying too many bills right now. So I subscribe to him on Facebook now. That's a thing that I do. I clicked follow this guy, and he put out a post today that was like, it was like him playing a pinball machine, racking it, letting her go, and he's like, yeah, go to Hatcher's pinballusa.com or something like that, and here the guy
Really?
he's shucking pinball machines now.
Shucking?
Yeah, he's shucking pinball machines.
God, I know what word you're trying to say. And
Shilling, shell it,
the
sell
guy's
it.
selling.
He's selling pinball machines.
He's hawking.
Hawking, Stephen Hawking.
He's hawking fucking whatever pinball machines.
Yeah, but I just thought that was interesting. It's like, UFOs, pinball machines.
You know, the same guy that would be interested in one might be interested in the next.
You think so?
Yeah. I
You
kind of
think-
want to play the most confusing song ever, which is that Pressure song that we've been listening to again.
Yeah.
It's got the best chorus, but the worst verse and pre-chorus. It's unbelievable how awesome one part of the song is and how not awesome.
If you can tell which part is the awesome part, comment the lyrics below.
All right, I'm just going to bust us into this, buddy. You ready?
Yeah, let's do this. You're watching the greatest program to ever hit audiences around the world. This is Six Deep with Piss and Chris.
Buzzing up with the musical attack. Rip it up with a boom sound we no lack. Got the rhythms of the play killer tracks. Annihilate and destroy them, we do that. Letting them know that how we can be rock and control the game. Oh, well, setting the pace in the place while them up driving them insane. Oh, that's right. Sun, you see, steam down. Get on the way, times I can. Burn it to the ground. Watch out, wish I got my break it. Says it just drive them underground. Cannot take the music, kill the sound. You will turn it up and never down. Says it just drive them underground. Cannot take the music, kill the sound. You will turn it up and never down. Pressure, pressure, pressure. I know your neighbors are banging on your door, saying that they can take your nights no more. Your bass is right in the face, sounds murderer, but we ain't turning it off, so call it law. Let them all know that the rock goes is out and is here to stay. Oh, well, tell them to move from this level, back off and just go away. Oh, that's right. Sun, you see, steam down. Get on the way, can't take it. Burn it to the ground. Watch out, wish I got my break it. Says it just drive them underground. Cannot take the music, kill the sound. You will turn it up and never down. Says it just drive them underground. Cannot take the music, kill the sound. You will turn it up and never down. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Pressure, temperature rising up the ether, feel it pressure. Hold on my head, I feel it pain from the pressure. Cannot take the nights, cause I raised in the pressure. No other time, I turn the music down, all the pressure. All the pressure. Stress it just to drive them underground. Cannot take the music, kill the sound. You will turn it up and never down. Stress it just drive them underground. Cannot take the music, kill the sound. You will turn it up and never down. Pressure, pressure, pressure.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're under pressure here at Six Deep with your favorite hosts. Hey, Piss and Chris. It's your old pals, Piss and Chris, here to say hi and hang out with you once again. This has been pretty awesome already. And again, just to remind you guys, we are sponsored today by Animalitos. They make you want to eat os. Animalitos, a family company. Compañía de familia. Mi comida favorita. Qué rico. Animalitos. Up next on Telemundo.
I think it's because the ass part of these chairs is so long. That's what forces
Yeah.
you to be like always.
I don't
kinda
like chairs that have the long ass on them, where you have to
Then it
like. I
makes
feel like
me,
a little
like,
kid,
lounge
like, "Hey
back."
guys, I just got to get into my chair real quick."
and then they're really short to the ground.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. These chairs. We've got another set of chairs, and we were toying around with the idea. You tell us, America.
If you think that we should get new chairs,
If you think we should switch these fucking things out for
use
some bar
Facebook's
stools.
hugging an emoji,
Yeah,
hugging
did
heart
you
thing.
see that shit today
Yeah.
too?
They just ripped that off without telling anybody.
So
And doesn't that seem kind of redundant too? There's the love thing, the love. Is it an
this one
emoji?
is caring or something, or it's like I'm understanding or caring. What the fuck?
They
is
still don't
that?
have like the rage quit emoji and all the stuff that we really need.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, Facebook is just
You know what?
totally
Okay,
fucking
so
censoring people
pretend I'm
left and
Facebook.
right.
Pretend I'm Facebook, right? I'm Mark Zuckerberg, our favorite guy, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, hey, like we'd, love to get an idea from you of what to use for our next, emoticon, emoji, whatever thing, impression. What would you pitch to us?
Probably like an I don't care face. I think that would be great.
What would that look like? Would there be hands in this one?
Yeah, you could do those like little close to that.
Little sausage hands coming out of there.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I still think like the big middle finger would be such a great, It's like somebody's like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know if you guys want to drop off medical supplies at this facility, you can just go to this address."
We're all doing our part, but just fucking.
Did you know how you can help the Amazonian rainforest tree frog?
There's just
There was
so many people on Facebook that just need to die.
Did I not catch that though? Because there was like a month ago or 2 months ago, before the whole COVID thing started, there was like this company that was advertising on Facebook, and they're like, if you buy one bracelet, and they're showing like little kids from Africa, so I phrased that, little kids from Africa, they're wearing they're wearing bracelets. They're wearing these bracelets, right? That's the important part of the story.
Oh,
and
I'll clear this up afterwards.
Yeah, and this is a live show, right? This is happening live. This is happening right now. They're wearing these bracelets, and they're like, for like 20 cents, you can buy one of these bracelets, and it plants 1 billion trees. The organization was called like 1 billion trees. Do you remember that? Do you remember seeing this?
I don't.
And I
But
immediately
let me. Oh, okay, yeah. Go.
well, no, I just immediately called it as a hoax. I was like, these fuckers are. I'm going to drop one right now. These guys are selling bracelets.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're not selling. They're not making 100 billion trees. They're making $100 billion, and there are no trees that are. There's going to be a lot of trees that are going to die because of this criminal enterprise. But I just think that's so messed up that everybody has to like hide their message behind like an organization. Like, every time you buy one bag of animalitos, $1 goes to cancer research.
Yeah. Every time you buy a bag of Animalitos,
This product has been
Piss
known to
and
cause
Chris
cancer
high
in the
five
state
a
of
guy.
California.
yeah. So, anyways, the reason we're laughing at Piss's comment about children from Africa, I believe, was the quote.
Children from Africa.
Okay.
African children.
We're not
Children
laughing at
from-
any people,
Not laughing at
any
African children.
race of people, any culture or creed or religion of people. We simply find it endlessly hilarious. The way how should I phrase this? The delicacy at which people are required to speak these days. We find it kind of absurd, and that is endlessly hilarious to us. So here we are on a show where we routinely belch and talk like idiots. When everybody else has to be so careful about every fucking word that they use.
You know what?
So
And
it's
I
like
was
tap dancing around landmines. And
was
people
gonna-
don't really say what they believe.
I was gonna do that shitty like tap dance thing where it's like, oh, I don't even see color, but I actually do. In fact, we are lifting up to code level yellow. Code level yellow. That's right, guy. We are not messing around here.
Whoa.
You know what the problem with this show
Oh,
is?
shit, I finished a beer during the break.
Yeah, hit it. Oh, give me one too, yeah. That was just abuse of the bell. Don't abuse the bell.
I enjoyed it. I was jamming.
Don't ever do that
The
again.
closest I got to
There is
jamming. today.
one bell per one beer. That is...
I am uncomfortably fat right now, Piss. This is becoming an issue. Oh, my God.
I'm comfortably numb right now, so that's
Just-
going to be
I
something you're going to
feel
have to deal
like-
with on your own.
Oh. We're gonna have to go as a nation on like a jog after this whole thing.
Jogging across America.
Yeah,
It's like
there it
hands
goes.
across America, but we're all gonna have to get on our. I'm like breathing heavy from just saying that. We're gonna have to jog across America. We're gonna forget jog across America. Jog across the block.
Just get to the other side of the
That's
street.
the new mission. Smoking's
Well,
probably not happening either.
It's
But you know what?
probably
I had
not
to
the
relapse
greatest
on
idea.
this show for this program. I did it for ratings.
Yeah, you watched
Relapse
this kid
for
relapse.
ratings. That's what I did. Yeah. Relapse. It's like when Steve-O, from Jackass, like they do, what was it, 3D or something like that? Jackass 3D? And they like wheel out all these fucking carcasses, Bam Margera and everybody, all my heroes that are just, you're like, these guys are invincible. And you realize so quickly, like, oh, they were not. You got Johnny Knoxville cutting, or like getting his penis slightly severed and having to get that all fixed
Johnny
up.
Knoxville has had a catheter
Yeah, he had
every
like
day.
he had like a colostomy bag. for a
changed
while.
twice a day, every day for like the last
my
decade.
heroes too, and you're like, these guys are indestructible.
Like, how could they rack their nuts on all those handrails and all that stuff
they
and
just
still make babies?
They just wheel what was left of Steve-O at that time from just all the ketamine he was snorting
Although
off
I
of
heard-
microwave plates and stuff.
I heard an interview with Wee Man, and I think it was, I want to say it was him. Shit, maybe it was a Steve-O interview. Somebody was talking about, like, somebody else made that comment, like, how can these guys rack their nuts so many times, and, like, would they be able to have kids? And then one of them was like, yeah, no, it's totally fine. Totally. I think it was Wee Man. I want to say it was Wee Man.
Well,
He's like, yeah,
Wee
I-
Man was
I still
such-
totally function, totally fine. Like, oh, shit. That's unbelievable. And it kind of gives one hope about what human beings can.
He's got
endure.
a van now.
Yeah, he's a van guy, dude. He's a serious van guy.
Yeah, he's got a van now. He bought I think it was the Mercedes van too. Like he went all out. But he's got like a B class that he like lives out of and stuff, and does like all these big trips and stuff.
Both
on 'em.
he and Steve-O are big van RV guys now. They're
Steve-O
like-
van guy.
oh, God. Steve-O got way into it because his new podcast. You saw that one where he tried to be like in a car and he had microphones suction cup to the windows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I vaguely
And
remember that.
He got like 4 or 5 guests out of that. I fucking can't remember.
So he was just like kind of remaking carpool karaoke kind of thing.
And comedians and cars. But
yeah.
the thing was, they had these like they had stands like pisses suction cup to the window in front of them. So like if they did, heaven forbid, get in an accident of some sort, I mean,
Or
you'd have
just
airbags
whack
going
in the
into
face,
fucking
yeah.
micro. I mean, it was just a horrible idea from start to finish. And it's Steve-O driving the entire time. So you got that. I don't know if he is safe.
I
and,
think that would be the
diligent
best
driver.
thing for this show. We keep 6 deep, right? So it's just us drinking 6 beers apiece, which ironically is the premise of the show. That's
You can't
nobody-
mix this show with driving.
No, that's what I'm saying. And then we get behind the wheel.
Horrible idea.
We get behind the wheel
Horrible
with
idea.
microphones. We rail 6 beers like right
Get
away.
behind the wheel, distracted by audio equipment. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
with
then
you so far.
we drive, we go driving until we get pulled over, and then that's ratings, dude. Like when a cop's like flashlight through the window and stuff, they'll be like, "Are you guys drinking?" And we'll be like, "You're caller number 8." Welcome to 6 Deep with your favorite host, Piss and Chris. Welcome to this arrest with your favorite host.
Oh my God. Welcome
to this search and
life-changing
seizure.
traffic stop.
So let me get this straight. You're running a podcast. Is this what this is? One of them silly YouTube shows? But instead you get drunk and you get on our public streets and you drive around on our public streets. Is this what I'm hearing right now?
Oh, what the hell was I talking about like 2 minutes ago? Because
You're under arrest.
I had a great thing I was going to say, and then you fucking completely cut me off.
Was a wee man's wiener working?
Oh, there you go.
oh my
The whole
God.
thing was Steve-O changed his podcast format. Thank you. So he does it in the back of an RV now, where you have like that bed area, and he's got a bed that like to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then it's like seating there for him.
Yeah.
And Kenny Way or whatever the fuck his name is,
Danny Way.
Danny. I don't know. Whatever.
Danny Way. Say that name with some reverence.
I don't know.
That man's
Ken
spe-
Block is who I was thinking
Ken
of.
Block,
Can sit
yeah.
back there and talk about whatever the fuck. Anyways, to get that
Gincana.
that RV, Steve-O went on like an epic journey and learned everything about RVs and went to every RV fair and all this stuff, to the point where he was telling their salespeople of different companies like features about their cars and shit that they didn't even know. So that's the whole story I was trying to get at. Steve-O, Wee Man, big van and RV guys, and you're into that yourself.
I am into that.
So
I'm
why the fuck
super
are you
not
shaking
into-
your head, you
Because
fucker?
you're
I don't
you're
care about
saying it
any
in
of
a
this shit.
fucking boring way. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about?
I don't
van
want to know
life?
anything. I'm saying some shit.
You
'cause
don't
I
want-
thought
you're the
I'm
guy that-
pandering to your stupid ass.
You're pandering
Thinking
to
like,
my...
oh, me talk cars, and you start being interested. I don't give a fuck. I'm a cerebral
Listen.
artist.
Listen.
I care about higher pursuit, higher order thinking kind of shit.
What people don't know is that all the money that we shill in from this show, we're just sucking money through this program right now.
Oh God, so much.
Mostly because we take.
Oh, don't
awesome-
forget we have that money counting meeting after
we have
this.
We have the branded sponsorship from Animalitos. What do they want to make you want to do, guy?
They make you want to eat, and
They
they're,
make
they're
you
our
wanna
favorite
eat.
animal cracker, and we thank them for their patronage.
Can you not say cracker? Like, I let it go the first time because I'm nice, but you say it again. You're entering a world of pain.
You see, piss is furthering an earlier bit where we talked about the absurdity of political correctness. Anyways, go ahead.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you just called me a cracker, and if you say that again...
I didn't call you anything. I said something. You can self-apply whatever you want, but I didn't aim it at you.
You said it, though.
I'm saying right now I'll aim this at you. You're a piece of shit.
Be careful where you're aiming that. I'm just
What
going
are,
to say...
what are you going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it?
Yeah, I think you're going to sit there in your chair and look like a stupid piece of shit.
What am I going to do about
yeah.
it?
Here we go.
What am I gonna do about it?
We're standing up now, looking all tough.
Look at how scared he looks.
I'm not scared. I'm sitting.
Look
I'm
at how
standing my
scared
ground.
he looks.
I got stone cold fucking Steve Tit Muffins over here.
That's what I thought, Issy.
I got
That's what I thought.
2-week-old rice milk over here, Steve Austin.
2-week-old rice milk?
Yeah,
What does that even mean?
I don't know. You tell me.
That's right. That was just a pre-engineered bit by Animalitos. All right, I swear to God, that's the last time.
Horrible.
We made our money off of that.
I forgot to do the cams where we.
I'm going to call my banker afterwards and make sure that check cleared.
I've been doing an awful job running this show so far.
You're doing great.
I've just held it in the 2-shot the whole time. I haven't changed cameras. And I want it to be interesting for people, you know?
Yeah, well, you've done a bang-up job of that so far.
Fuck you. Anyways, what are we talking about?
I was talking about Steve-O because I'm saying when they, like, wheeled him out and he was, like, just a shallow husk of a man and he tries to do, like, a skateboard flip and he just, like, face plants, you know?
Yeah, how about when he went to the roast of... Oh, Charlie Sheen, I think it was, where he like ran his face into Mike Tyson's
Was
fist.
it Charlie Sheen?
Pretty sure it was Charlie Sheen.
What?
It was Charlie Sheen. I just watched it not too long
Yeah,
ago.
it was like that or the Hoff or something. I can't remember.
No, definitely not Hasselhoff because I just watched it. That was the one where
That was great though. That was he's probably one of the best entertainers of all time.
that was the one where Amy Schumer said like, "Oh, Steve-O, yeah, we know your friend Ryan Dunn just died, and it's really sad. We know you were thinking like, why wasn't it me? Why wasn't it me?" And we were all sitting here thinking like, "Oh, why wasn't it?" That's such a dark joke, and you can see it in his face. He's just like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Can I read you what's going on right now?
Yeah, what's up? Please, God, tell me something's happening in the world or something.
Hold on.
Action texting
So-
with piss.
Our guest that we were gonna have on the air today,
Yeah.
because there's still, I don't know if the camera can see this. There's very much light outside. We turned this into
yeah,
a day
you can see
drinking
it
program.
on
You know,
my-
I'm not even
Well,
blaming it. I'm not blaming it
this
on
is-
day drinking. The
this is-
solstice happened, and now the days are longer, and that's what's making us look like alcoholics.
Television or movie or internet magic.
Give me a yay.
To appear.
Give me a yay.
Oh yeah, you earned one, buddy. Here you go.
Our one of our greatest treasured friends of all time, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, we love this guy.
He at some point he will be on the show. You know what? I have like this is a mini passion project of mine. Can I let you in a little bit on my world here?
Yes, you may.
2011. Rewind the clocks. Think of where you were in 2011. Maybe you were just going into school, or maybe you were just getting out of school or something. But 2011, there was a little show that was gracing the airwaves called 6 Deep with 2 unknown guys at the time called Piss and Chris, and they had guests on their show. Most famously,
Yeah,
Do
they did.
Rob, who has done a phenomenal job, and I'm still surprised we haven't
Do-Rob
gotten him
is
on
still
here.
my favorite guest because
Still-
I love Do-Rob.
So hard to top, right? I mean, you look at the top and you're like, Do Rob, you know? But there was an episode, and I forget which one it was. So I'm going to need you guys to go to All Things PNC on YouTube, go to the 6D playlist, watch them all from the beginning, and tell me in the comments below which one it was. But there was an episode where I got too hammered. I know, right? Things have changed a lot since then.
How was
right?
that possible?
Children. And I was telling Chris, I was like, we need to get our guest on the air tonight. You know, this is back in 2011. And Chris is like, oh, I don't know. And I said, like, oh, I'm going to text him and be like, oh, dude, you're a bitch. Like, whatever. Like, you got to be on the show. The person that I was talking about was Ben. So I've always wanted Ben to be a guest on this show, and it's going to happen. Ben will be a guest on this show.
How do you know that was Ben?
It was Ben. I remember that. Because I think I said his name in the show, too. I'm pretty sure. But I know it was Ben.
What episode was that?
That was one of the first one of the original episodes of 6 Deep from back in like 2011.
Really?
Yeah, and so to get Ben on this show, what he doesn't realize, this was back in the Carlisle group. This was back in those days when the Carlisle group was happening.
So Ben,
And I was like, dude, we're gonna call up Ben, we're gonna get him on the show, and then we couldn't get a hold of him. And then you made the comment, you're like, oh, this is gonna be one of those things where like pissed drunk texts, and then in the morning it's gonna be like, oh, you know, Ben will text back and be like, oh, hey man, sounds like you guys had a crazy night. Like, oh yeah, well, you know, but we will have Ben on the show. It's gonna
Damn.
happen.
it just
so-
seems like 6 Deep was after all that stuff. But it's funny how things overlap in
So
life. when you
Ben's
look back
preoccupied at the
years.
moment. He can't do it, and he was also
That's
saying
fine.
that he was.
No, I was being a little harsher. I maybe not, but no, we
Harsh at
totally
all. You were
no,
great. You were
we
just
totally
fine.
understand that dude's got a life, and
Yeah.
we're springing this on him last second. We talked about this 2 days ago. We were supposed to do it yesterday, and we just didn't have our shit together, so we just didn't. Just didn't have
the shit together. You'll never know how much you made me when you killed those two guys with AIDS. No, that wasn't the lyrics.
No.
That wasn't the lyrics at all.
Oh, is it sig time? Hey, you.
Yeah. But we're gonna get Ben on this program, and it'll be the culmination, the precipice of completing a goal, and that's what Pitts and Chris are about. We complete goals here.
We complete music breaks as well, so why don't you
That's right, guys.
get us set up?
I know our audience's favorite time. That's right. We're back to an epic music break. You're listening to the greatest show of all time, taking Facebook and YouTube by storm. This is Piss and Chris 6 Deep, and we'll be right
I don't have anything yet.
back right after these messages. And I'm not going to say Emanalitos one more time. You're watching Telemundo and Facebook. Piss and Chris do Denver the movie and 6 Deep the cult classic. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to this song.
TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the
Come inside, take off your coat, I'll make you feel at home. Now let's pour a glass of wine, 'cause now we're all alone. I've been waiting all night, so just let me hold you close. Girl, you know it feels real good. We can do it till we both wake up. Girl, you know I'm hooked on you. And this is what I'll do. Yeah, I wanna sex you up. Make it love until we drown. I wanna sex you up. Just make me feel so good. I just wanna look at you. Don't say anything at all. Just lay back, enjoy the ride. Yeah. All I wanna do is I wanna sex you up all night. I want me right to. I wanna sex you up. Makes me love it all night long. I wanna sex you up. Feels so right, it can't be wrong. Don't be shy, girl, get with me. I wanna sex you up. Open up your heart and I'll set you free. Oh, I wanna touch you in all the right places, baby. I wanna make love to you all night, yeah. Yeah. Makes me love it all night long. Feels so right, it can't be wrong. Don't be shy, girl, get with me.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Morty, I'm a pickle, Morty. I'm a pickle, Morty. I'm pickle Rick. I'm pickle Rick, Morty. Oh man, can you believe it? I bet you can't. That's right. We what have we done so far? Talked about our new sponsor, the great Animalitos. And we also talked about the fact that UFO is fully declassified by the United States government. UFOs do exist. They're here. And they're being recorded. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You have tuned back in, somehow magically, into the best program hitting Facebook and YouTube by storm. 2.2 billion potential followers. And counting. That's right, everybody. Though, to keep everybody up to speed here, I am harassing our guest into coming onto this program because I need it. I think we all need it. I'm doing this on behalf of you, the viewer, because you, the viewer, will decide.
That's awesome, Piss.
We were talking a little bit about UFO to go, like before, we were talking about the show that we used to make that's also available on our Epic YouTube channel, All Things PNC. Which you guys really should check out. I mean, that's some of the best free things you'll ever. I can't believe that we're giving that away for free. Can you believe that?
I think that's an astounding value.
That is a tremendous value that we're giving that away for free. But we are for a limited time only. People, listen, for a limited time only, you can get Mega Omasta Blast, the 20 milligram capsules. I was saying I was going to do it for 50% off. I'm doing it for 100% off. Okay, this is not going to last forever. I'm cranking it hard. Cranking it hard.
I just can't reach behind
I'm cranking it hard. Cranking it hard here on 6 Deep, but we're
Cranking
we
it so
give
hard.
away that premium content for free, all for you guys. Just
now
to
I really
entertain you
feel
guys.
like Paul.
Yeah, and on
Cranking it hard.
on our first
Cranking it.
if you guys go to the John Reed
Cranking it
episode,
hard.
Jonathan Reed UFO to go. It's a playlist. There's only 2 episodes, so it's a real quick one. It's like 10 minutes of your time. It'll change your world forever.
Yeah, that show. We
You'll
only
learn
have
about
2
how a
episodes
man-
up on the on YouTube.
A man on the western seaboard in Washington, the state of Washington.
Are you going to tell the Jonathan Reed story?
Yeah. In what was the
Are
national
you
forest
sure,
thing they
Are
were?
you sure they can handle it?
I don't know. I know they can't handle it. That's why I'm saying watch the video. I'm just going to this is a teaser. I'm just letting people know where it's at.
I don't know the name of the forest. I think you just got to go on without that little nugget of information. We used to know every aspect of this story. It was crazy. It's a story we've heard like 50 times.
We originally heard it way back in 1998. Little Piss and Chris, we were 10 years old at the time. We had built a fortress out of bed sheets and pillows to hide from the monsters of the darkness. That was before our voices came to fill that void and punch those demons out from under our beds. That's right. But Piss and Chris, 10 years old, spry little Piss and Chris.
Some of the best memories of my life were like turn on the radio,
huddled around the radio.
The show we loved is Art Bell, or it's called Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast.
That's not at all any part of the show.
Till the end of time, fucking call that bell, yeah. And listen most. Dude, he loved that song. Now, there's a guy that made like a fan song about it. That wasn't the real Coast to Coast AM song, though.
I say, what the fuck is that? I don't know. I've never heard.
You've heard that, right?
No.
Really? I'll get it on the show sometime. It's pretty good, and there's no way it can get flagged because like maybe 2 million people heard that song. But that's about
it. But that doesn't mean anybody knows it. Laughing quietly to himself without context.
I'm commenting.
That's always fun.
I'm commenting. I'm getting a guest on the program. I don't know what you're doing. I'm getting a guest on the program. What was I talking about? We're talking about aliens. Oh yeah, John Reed. I keep wanting to say Mount Shasta, but
episode.
Where is Mount Shasta? Is that California or something? I don't know, but that's always where Stephen Greer goes. He's another like alien guy.
Yeah, it's not Mount Shasta.
But and I want to say like the Pisgah, but that is Washington, but that's like the coast.
It's not. No, just.
But anyway, he was in those woods. He was in there. He was in that forest, and he
was in a forest in Washington. Go ahead. This man, Jonathan Reed, walking his dog.
So John Reed, a licensed child psychologist. Definitely not an unlicensed one.
Let's do a code level check here real quick.
Hold on, I gotta finish texting here.
All right, I'll take us into it. Code level, we're gonna move up to orange, and Piss will affect it after the fact. Okay, we're holding on. See, Piss is still talking to our potential guest and trying to set that up. By the way, check it out, folks. The banquet beer can has changed.
That's right. We have shown.
Does anybody else notice this?
This is becoming like a historical documentary. I feel like Ken Burns is gonna like do a Piss and Chris film, and
it's got that big red stripe on.
And he's gonna be like, one group of guys covered the different logos that Coors put on their cans for many decades.
One group of degenerate.
Do you know? Can you do Ken Burns on this thing? Can you Ken Burns this
Oh
can?
shit! Now I'm fucking up my graphics. No, fuck, I can't.
Okay,
sorry.
We're not gonna do it. I was throwing it out there because I didn't know.
I gotta go through all the code levels and fix that stupid shit.
Oh no, we were just about to do a code level.
Yeah, well, I gotta figure out which one I fucked up.
So I gotta stall for that too. So I'm talking. So in the background here, I'm talking to our guest. He's gonna be on the show.
Shit, because these glasses are a prop.
And so we're doing a little back and forth. You know how it is trying to get guests in on a show. There's a lot of logistics, so we're taking care of that right now.
Is it orange?
But in the meantime, we're talking about John Reed. This little guy named John Reed. God, I'm gonna figure out that forest name too. That's gonna really bug me. Yeah. I'm going to think of it. And it's going to be so great when I finally remember it. Chartreuse?
Yeah, there's a chartreuse thing going on right now. Anyways, go ahead.
Do we have a chartreuse level? Is that all being live too?
Yeah, this is all.
So you guys that's so great. You get to watch.
You get to watch me unfuck up this show and still not figure out what I did.
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I yanked on something.
Was a licensed child psychologist. Oh God! There's like the third sentence in that video is like the name of the forest. It's gonna bum me out that I can't remember what it is. But anyway, this guy John Reed, Washington State. He's going on a hike with his dog, his 14-year-old dog named. Do you remember what the name of the dog was?
Susie.
Susie. I was just checking to see if you remembered. Taking his dog Susie for a walk. when all of a sudden Susie ran off into the woods and he started hearing barking. And he's like, oh man, what could that be? And Susie's bark changed into a more distressed tone. Well, that's when John Reed knew shit was going to go on. So he goes over the hill and he sees Susie, the golden retriever, in the grasps of this being who is fighting for its life, and Susie's fighting for her life. And that's where I'm going to leave that story. That's where I'm going to leave it. That's one hell of a teaser. And you can watch the rest of it when you go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in all things P&C or Piss and Chris, and it might not even show up with the channel, but it'll show up with one of the 6 deep videos. You can click on that. Then you can click on the thing that says all things PNC, the name, right, the profile name, and then once you click on that, it'll bring you to like the larger profile where you can see all the videos we could do, and then you can scroll through there until you can see all the playlists, and then you can scroll down and you can see UFO to go, and you can click on that and watch both of those.
This kid's hammered or something. I don't know what happened to you, Piss.
What happened to you?
I'm just kidding. Anyways, I've been fucking with the show here, and things seem to be out of place. Well, so what do you think, P? Are we going to get our possible guest on or not here?
Well, let's find out.
Because otherwise, we ran about our hour here, my friend, and so we could extend it if we have a guest, or we could play some
I'm saying
music.
let's just feel this out. Let's just feel it out. Let's see what happens. Let's kick it off to a music break real quick.
We'll do a little bit longer of a music break while we figure out.
I still want to do like
what the hell we're doing.
Do you think
here.
we can get away with a 2, or should we just do a 1?
We'll do a 2-songer.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. Because we have to figure out what our plan is here now. Because you can't.
Oh, we have a plan, ladies.
Can't
and
just
gentlemen.
have a show all willy nilly.
They don't. You don't honestly think that the audience is like sitting there saying like, "Oh, these guys had nothing."
Well, what I'm saying is
planned.
that if we don't have a show to present to the audience, we won't have an audience there at all.
What do you, dude? The audience is sitting at the edge of their seat from that John Reed story. They love it. They can't.
You think they did? You think they?
Yeah.
You think they really?
Yes, they loved it.
Loved it.
They're sharing it on Facebook right now.
Are they? Let me
right-click
let me
share.
check on my. Oh wow! Look at all the sharing happening on my bullshit machine here. I'm just checking out all these shares.
It's probably the number 1 YouTube video in the Philippines right now. So.
Yeah, oh wow! Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm clicking on things, this is how I did it on the intro. He said, "Work on your computer," so I just.
You're an asshole. Do you know how long it takes me to come up with those opens?
Oh, less than a second because they're just so. Anyways,
I spend nights just sweating.
we're at the
thinking, what would be
belligerent
the best way
aspect of the evening.
to kick this episode off? And I used the lucky number bit. I had that saved.
Dinner off.
Dinner?
I want to kick 2 things. I want to kick your ass, and then I want to kick off dinner.
What did you say to me?
I said I'm going to beat your little bitch ass, and I'm going to smear it all over this wall.
You said you're gonna beat my ass?
Yeah, I'm going to beat your ass is what I said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I said, right? Is that what you guys remember? Me saying something like, "Oh, wow. Is that, did you just...
What'd you say to me?
I'm sorry, sir. Is your grandson going to fight me, or what's don't
That's what I thought.
don't even pretend to fight me if you're not going to follow
Me and
through,
the
bitch.
Animalitos Familia, we don't take shit from nobody, fool. We don't do that. That's not shit that we take, okay? That's not shit we take, okay?
Who are you?
Yeah, you'd like to know. But I got to wear my COVID mask so nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows who I am.
So Piss and Chris have officially ran out of shit to say. What about you at home? Should we end the podcast, or should we extend this on further?
I think they're asking for 2 more
Well,
hours.
we
I
have
think they're saying, let's get 2 more hours.
literally nothing to say.
Let's give a little bit more. I have tons of stuff to say. You just haven't let me say it yet.
Well, hey, here's a perfect time to inject
Oh, for me to jump
some
in?
show here. Yeah.
No, I ran out of things. No, we're going to kick it off to a music break. And we're going to be right back with so much awesome things.
So out of things to
Dude,
say.
people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that they came up with that many things. It's almost like they had that pre-scripted. So we'll be right back after Chris picks a song. You're listening to the greatest show of all time. This is 6 Deep. With ear-blowing music. This is 6 Deep with Piss and Chris. We'll be right back.
Girl, I wanna take you to a gay bar. I wanna take you to a gay bar. I wanna take you to a gay bar, gay bar, gay bar. Let's start a war. Start a nuclear war. At the gay bar, gay bar, gay bar. Wow! At the gay bar. Now tell me, do you have any money? I wanna spend all your money at the gay bar, gay bar, gay bar. I've got something to put in you. I've got something to put in you. I've got something to put in you. At the gay bar, gay bar, gay bar. You're a superstar. At the gay bar. You're a superstar. At the gay bar. Yeah, you're a superstar. At the gay bar. You're a superstar. At the gay bar. Superstar. Superstar. Nuclear war on the dance floor. Nuclear war on the dance floor. Electric sex, love's on time. Electric love over sex crime. You're a pretty, 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 pretty girl. You can do a lot of things with that. Nuclear war on the dance floor. Nuclear war on the dance floor. Solo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from a double epic music break. That's right, I'm your host, Piss, rocking the show solo since Chris has just bailed on me. So I'm stuck in a dilemma, guys. I'm stuck into a dilemma. I have a guest right here, ready to go. Can't do a graphic or an audio cue because Chris is not running this show. This is just me now. It's just you and me. I have a guest who's ready to go, locked in. And then I also have a host who's completely done. He's just done. He's not going to do it anymore. He has officially wimped out on me. Now I got to figure out what to do. I got to figure out what to do here because Chris just fucking lost it. He pissed all over the sink. Huh? He just told me to shut the F up and do the show. How can I do the show if I shut the F up? Audio is half of this program. I know, most people are thinking like, oh, the lights and this stuff, that's carrying the show right now. I wish I could say it was, ladies and gentlemen. It is not, however. But But I will say this. I'm going to go analog here because Chris doesn't have his bitchin' graphics. So while Chris is figuring himself out, we're officially going, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can't see this. There it is. Bam. Whoosh. Right there. We are going code level orange. Yeah. Definitely has the exact same impact as when Chris does it. And, yeah, that is not orange at all. That is a mustard yellow color for the lights. I don't know. The lights really fell short, guys. Hopefully with the Animalitos budget, we'll have some more money for lights in the future. But it's looking pretty grim right now. Anyway, we talked about Trump. We're hopefully going to have a guest if Chris gets his shit sorted out. I know, right? Just me and the audience all agreeing that Chris really bitched out here. Me and the entire audience. That's 2.2 billion potential followers are all in agreement that Chris really bitched out. I'm going to throw another thing at it, though, because since Chris is gone, I'm gonna open up a little bit of conspiracy time. That's what Piss is known for. I'm going to open up some conspiracy time. I think everybody remembers that time when we all agreed that, what was his name? It wasn't Shaq. Who was the other guy that did the Shazam movie? And what was it? It was called Kazam. And it was with, what was his name? What was his name, guy? Sinbad. That's what it was. Sinbad and Kazam. That was when we all first learned about the Mandela effect. And then it was the Berenstein Bears. Instead of the Berenstein Bears. And I think it was always... Or Stain Bears, that's right. Yeah, it was the Berenstain Bears, which makes no sense at all. It would make more sense that they were a German bear family versus, whatever. Nobody's name ends in Stain. That doesn't make any sense at all. So we learned about the Mandela effect. And doesn't anybody think that it's kind of weird that, there was that Mayan prediction back in 2020, or 2012 rather, that the world was going to end because it was the end of the Mayan calendar, and then everything got really weird after that. Does anybody else think that that's kind of a weird coincidence? So there's a new conspiracy out that's talking about CERN, CERN, the Hadron Collider. I think I'm saying that right. Makes those little atomic particles smash into each other at 1 billion miles an hour to create black holes or whatever. Anyway, they're saying that when that thing was launched and fully operational, it launched some sort of particle that ripped open the time-space continuum, and now it's shifted all of life into a separate dimension. So we're all still here, and I think that's the correct version of Chris. I'm not sure. I don't think so, because I think the correct version of Chris would probably be sitting on the set right now.
Fuck you.
Helping me with banter in this segment. But we're in this parallel universe. And that's why I really wanted to bring up the John Teeter story, but Chris wouldn't let me do it 3 episodes ago. I'm going to have to bring Teeter back. I'm going to have to do the John Teeter episode. Because there's a time traveler.
Titties. Okay, talk about him, dude. What's up?
No, there was a time traveler named John Titor. Titor.
Titties.
Should we give Ben a call? Let's do this.
Let's do it, dude. I had to grab some bud while Piss fucking trashed my character. That's libel, you piece of shit.
It's not liable to shit. I own you. You're a product of Cheese Industries.
I switched shades, too, because I can't see out those other fucking ones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to witness greatness on the other end of this phone.
Oh, dude, I can actually hear that. Cool.
Can you? Okay.
Yo.
Ben,
Dude.
what are you wearing right now?
Well,
Tell me something.
really exciting. I don't know if I should tell you and get you all worked up when you can't get here for about 13 hours.
That's not going to stop me from trying. You're on the air here with Piss and Chris.
Tell him so he knows.
No, I just I said you're on the air with Piss and Chris.
Oh,
You're live right now.
prominently. Well, what a pleasure.
You're live with 2.2 billion potential followers and currently 0 viewers. So this is really just between us.
So the pressure is
We'll
on.
have to do something about that now, won't we?
Hell yeah, dude. Pressure's off, man. Woo!
I need to introduce this guy. I need to introduce him real quick. This Ben is probably one of the greatest musicians that Chris and I have ever had the privilege of meeting and witnessing their greatness in our lifetime.
He's better than I am, for goddamn sure.
We were just talking about Hendrix a couple shows ago, maybe a show ago, and we were saying, about, talking about his prowess, but this guy, Ben, also plays... Is it just bass, Ben, or do you play regular guitar upside down, or how do you do that?
Oh, yeah, well, regular guitar.
Really?
Also upside down.
Seriously?
Well, yeah, of course.
Dude, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
It's so cool, it hurts my brain.
It's actually, it was way more common than I ever thought. I mean, it's pretty common.
Do you see other people playing like that?
Yeah, but most of the time they restring it, the guitar. Or they don't restring it, if they play a left-handed guitar, because...
So, dude, Ben...
because then your chord structures and the way that you finger the chords...
Fingering the chords? Okay.
Would be the same as, if you were to play a right-handed guitar. So that's where it gets a little hairy whenever you get in there and you're playing like a jazz chord or something like 11th or 13th, adding like some stuff, because then you have to use actually a different method of forming your chord with your fingers because it's upside down.
I don't even know how you do that, man. That's magic.
So, Ben...
It's actually, you have to
put it on
open.
yours.
You can't play all 6 strings sometimes, and that sucks, but sometimes you can, or you have to find out like a different, what is it called? Forgive me, I've been up all day doing stuff. For instance, instead of playing an open A, you would put, the 5th fret on the low E string, which is also A.
Yeah.
So just kind of stuff like that.
So when you say
Or
like
you play an
low,
octave up.
so when you're playing the little high E string is on the top of your neck, then, like the closest to you.
Yeah.
Dude, that hurts my brain, man. That means everything is like backwards and inside out.
I'm gonna move the mic back here. Can you, Chris? I'm gonna have you talk. Can you hear Chris, Ben? Let's see this.
Oh, hey, can you hear me, Ben?
Chris, now I can. Chris, what's up, man?
Nice.
Dude,
so we
there
can
it is.
all hear each other. Yay.
Because we're doing like super high tech. I'm literally holding my phone to the microphone right now. This is IPR recording. I'm the only non-recording engineer here, and I am doing just a bang up job right now.
This is hilariously low.
Dude, bang it up, son. Jeez.
So we brought Ben into the
Weird.
show.
I'm not drinking, so what's going on?
Well, we
That's weird.
brought you into the show, Ben, because we need to talk about the state of the union when it comes to music.
Okay.
So, dude, is music today, maybe a fair question to start with here, is it shittier than it was 10 or 20 years ago? Or is it just as good, but maybe to a new audience?
I think more the latter of the two there. I mean, it's good music, and it's just, who's listening to it, what's kind of big right now, I think, and then so to maybe certain listeners, I'll just say, me, for example, it's hard to keep up because there's so many different artists, whereas, like, back when,
That's super
we just
true.
choose, like, 70s rock or something, and you had, like, Zeppelin, or something there, the big bands, that's who you heard. There wasn't as many to fight with, with the internet and stuff like that. So,
Ben, you brought up a good point. I'm going to ask this question to both of you guys, since you and Chris are both musicians. When you think back at the decades, it's like we knew what 70s music sounded like because there was like this 70s decade generation of like, of rock bands and stuff like that. 80s comes along, turns to like, the 80s rock, but mostly like Casio keyboard music. The 90s come along, everybody ditches the Casio for like organic instruments and stuff like that. Do you think that right now we're kind of in like this existential quandary because there's no like definable generation that we're in right now? Or what do you guys think about that? I'm going to let you start, Ben.
Go ahead, Chris. I was just talking there. I didn't say too much, but go ahead.
Dude, I mean,
And then I'll chime in.
one thing that comes off the top of my head, I would say, is like maybe technology, because as being something that differs, because they just didn't have access to synthesizers and stuff like that in the 60s and 70s, or maybe in the late 70s or something like that. But as they became available, people used them, and I think they probably got to a point where they overused them, and then they kind of backed off on it, and that's why you saw kind of like a rebirth of organic music in the 90s. But at the same time, there was still like a huge dance music scene and all that kind of stuff, so it never went away. I don't know. I think
Right.
it's a taste thing, and
Yeah.
ultimately what people will buy.
Yeah, I'm right there with that. And then now it's just like it's almost stifling to your ideas, even though there's so many. Like you mentioned, Chris, that you have the availability for any plug-in almost for any synth, or any certain guitars like mod. You don't have to go out and buy, a certain guitar model with a certain amp model. You can just buy, like a Line 6 pedal or something that has all that stuff built right into it.
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
But the options are endless, which almost is why, it can be difficult sometimes to harness in and get the same sound or come up with a new sound, because you're just like, one song that you make is going to sound, whatever virtual instrument you use compared to the next one, unless you're going to just stick by that as a favorite. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I would say like almost like a paralyzing amount of options nowadays, right? Like too many
Yeah.
options. Like it's nice to sometimes have that box of like a wall of what your amp will do or what your pedal will do, so then you can be creative around it. But there's like literally anything you could possibly conceive of doing with your sound today you could do, and that's almost like more daunting than less options. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
I
that's
hate.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I hate to be like the idiot of the crew here, but Ben brought up a really good point. I never really thought about that, but like for a musician to really craft their sound, decades ago, they would have had to have bought the right, like everybody talks about the Les Paul, Gibson Les Paul, and like, oh, that made a really good sound with a Marshall half stack or whatever, and blah blah blah. I didn't realize that like musicians actually were picking their gear based on the ultimate sound. So what do you guys think now,
Yeah.
as far as and back in that time period too, same thing goes, right? Where it's like you're a band starting up. There's a band like maybe the Beatles or something are popular at the time, so you kind of need to craft your sound around what the Beatles are doing so that you can be relevant in the music scene. How do you think musicians today stay relevant in the music scene? What would you guys guess for that?
I think you see like famous people in there, like if a dude's killing it in basketball and he's wearing Jordans every week on the court for every major NBA game or something, you'd be like, shit, maybe if I wore those shoes, I might be better at the game. Maybe that's the edge I need. So I think musicians will see a guy playing a certain kind of guitar or a certain kind of amplifier and maybe think like, dude, if I bought that, maybe that's the thing I'm missing to be as good as that guy, which I think is a dangerous trail to go down. But yeah.
Exactly. But and so it almost makes it like now it doesn't even matter what you play. You could be playing a crappy Casio that you picked up at Goodwill, and as long as your song's cool, it's gonna be like, oh, that's like the Gorillaz kind of did that a little bit. They put in the cheesy Casio stuff here and there, but the song was good, and the hook that they were playing on that crappy instrument, it's like, who cares what they're playing? I like this song.
Dude, yeah, ultimately there has to be a good song underneath. You can have like all the bells and whistles you can possibly conceive of, but like if there isn't still a good hook and something that's like memorable and lyrics that are easy to remember and that people like, if you don't have those things, ultimately the song will fail no matter what you put on it. So it's still the same game as it was like in the 1950s. You still have to write a bitchin' catchy song, That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
But again, kind of along those same lines, if we think about, there was the punk era, right, where it was all punk music. We had the rock era before that. We had the hip hop era after that. The last real like musical movement I can think of, ironically enough, is like the dubstep movement. Like where it was like all the music was dubstep. Where they got to listen for that drop.
Really?
What's the newest thing you guys can think of? Like what's the next like segment of maybe EDM or something? I don't know. I guess that's where I'm kind of going is It's so weird how amorphous the music industry's gotten because there's no real definable terms for it anymore. There's no real like box that we're creating in. So it's kind of like, what
Yeah.
is it acceptable for people to make 70s music today now, or electronic music today, or what? What's controlling the music industry? I wonder.
I think that's what. Well, especially just trying to start out, why everybody just kind of ends up playing a conglomeration of covers and things like, oh, I like the grunge sound, oh, I like the Beatles stuff, oh, I like,
Yeah.
and so instead of kind of defining, I don't know, like 21 Pilots, I'm so out of the loop from brand new music anymore, but or like Billie
Dude, me
Eilish
too.
and
Don't feel
stuff like
bad.
that. It's almost, I don't know. A lot of the stuff that you hear, just kind of you got a beat going on. The 808's never going to go away, I don't think.
Let's
Nah.
hope not.
That's like the kick drum, the rolling, the 808 kick drum kit.
Hell yeah.
It's still very prevalent in a lot of stuff.
Dude, I think some sounds just like just hit the sweet spot of filling like that frequency gap in music and how it plays through speakers and all that kind of stuff, and certain sounds just won't go away. And you hear gated snares
true.
like from 80s music still making a comeback, like that Phil Collins snare or whatever. You'll hear it in modern day songs. Bruno Mars and stuff like that isn't super modern, but dude, yeah, he's using all that like 80s sounding stuff, 70s sounding stuff.
Well, and I'll throw another curveball at you guys too, right? So I think the medium of music was forever on the radio, right? Like if you wanted to listen, every musician's greatest aspiration was to hear their song on the radio at some point. And the radio kind of has fallen to the wayside in the last, 10, 15 years, something like that. So I think that's pushed more people that are looking for music onto like, apps like Spotify, Pandora, things like that. Where would you guys kind of assume the music industry is going? Do you think it's all going to like apps? Like, okay, if you want to listen to this new music, you got to tune into Spotify. Do you think it's going to be on the radio, or do you think it has to be sponsored in some sort of movie or video game to get famous?
I think people still kind of hear a song on the radio and go, okay, it has to be good. It's on the radio, I like it. So, okay, I'm cool, right, or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But it's almost not. I think it's just gonna be listener's choice, like with the apps, like you're talking. Oh, what do you want to listen to today? And you're driving, you're on a road trip or something. It's not like you put the radio on and just drive. It's usually like, oh, well, let's put on this Pandora station for a while, and then you get sick of it, like the 90s stuff or the 50s or the 80s, and
Yeah. Well, actually, Ben, a good question for you. Where do you listen to most of your music? Do you listen to it on your phone, or do you listen to the radio anymore?
It depends if I have any minutes on my phone and have the ability to listen to what I want.
That's a
to
real
on my
musician
phone
right
while
there.
I'm out.
goddamn right.
Or if I can tap into Wi-Fi somewhere. Right? I don't know, man. I do a lot of I guess it's kind of going against what we should be doing as musicians. And I find myself, I get stuck in the same vein kind of for a while. Like today I just put on the Max's, Pandora, which then that encompasses all those old kind of post-punk bands, Say Anything and Jimmy Eat World and Taking Back Sunday. And, and it's just like, I'm in one of those moods today. That's what I want,
Yeah, dude, I think like largely when you're consuming music, it's all mood related, right? I just listen to some stuff that's old because it makes me feel good, even though it's shit that I've heard a million times or whatever. But I kind of agree with you, dude. I know I should be like doing more deep dives to find new and far out there music, but I'm just like not finding it right now for some reason.
Yeah, I wonder like what's the chart toppers now? Do you have to go to like iTunes downloads, or like what, how do you figure out if like a song is like the #1 song in the country, like?
Yeah, I mean, Billboard and iTunes and all that kind of stuff still rank all that stuff. It's still out there, but I don't know. I don't look for that. I don't think a lot of people do. But I bet you the people that are distributing the music certainly are.
When we talk about moods too, isn't that interesting? Like, it's like you can act, like for me, I only pretty much exclusively listen to music from like the 90s or early 2000s and stuff like that. That to me is still like the best era of music. And so I never really am forced to live outside of that. You know, I don't have to listen to any other music. To me, like Miley Cyrus is still like the new outbreaking, like you know, her and Rihanna are like the newest musicians or whatever, like them and Nicki Minaj or something. You know? So I just think it's kind of interesting how like we're not really challenged anymore to learn a new medium of music because we have access to all the different, you know, decades of music. And so we're kind of, you could kind of stay in your own world as much as you want, that whole like sphere of self kind of deal.
Yeah, and it's almost like when you turn on Netflix or Amazon and you try and find something to watch, right? You just sit there instead of actually watching or taking something in, listening to it. You spend all your time just kind of surfing through, like,
Yep.
You know, what do I want to listen to today? And that's if you're trying to find something new that you haven't heard before, and it's like, man, there's so much out. It's coming to kind of daunting, you know.
Isn't that funny too? And it's like, you know, at the end of it, you're just like, screw it. I think I'll just watch like Frasier or Friends again, you know, like
Or just something you've seen before.
Yeah, there's something kind of comforting in like knowing what's coming at you. You know, it's like kind of like there's kind of like a fear of looking for new TV shows to watch and stuff on Netflix because you're like, it'll probably suck or I won't like it. You know, what's that Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or some shit that everybody's trying to get me to watch right now?
Oh yeah, that's about the comedian woman or whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but it's just so funny. There's shows like Game of Thrones or Lost or you know, there's been a bunch of shows throughout the last like 20 years where it's like people are like, oh my god, you're not watching this right now, and I always feel like a pressure to that.
Does that make you not want to watch it when somebody tells you to watch it?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And with
In a
music,
way.
music is totally the same way for me, man. Where when somebody's like, "Oh, you got it," like sometimes I'm like, you know what? Because you like it so much, fuck that. It's already done. I don't want that shit or something. I don't know. It's just like it's a turnoff when people people force you to like something. I'm just like, nah.
So what's a band? This is the question for both of you guys again. What's a band that people and this could be from any time in your life. What's a band that people have told you like, oh my god, you guys got to listen to this, and you were just like, you know what, I'm not going to listen to it because of the fact that somebody told me to listen to it. I'll start all of us out. Plain White Tees. Like for whatever reason, like back in the early 2000s, everybody's like, oh, you got to listen to the Plain White Tees, and I'm like, you know what, fuck those guys. I'm not going to listen to them. Then Dashboard Confessional. Those will be my two.
Well, let's follow that up there before we give our input, Chris and I. So, like, is this a band that someone told you to listen to, and then you purposely didn't listen to it because they told you, but then later on we're like, wow, I should have listened to this a while ago?
God damn it, you're the smart one of the group, Ben. You're definitely the smart one. That's actually a really good observation because I think I messed up shiny toy guns with the Plain White Tees. And they did that cover of what's the cover guy?
Oh, Miss Major Tom.
Major Tom. Yeah, they did the Shiny Toy Guns did Major Tom. It was fucking unreal. A great song. And I was like, you know, I mixed them up with a different band, and I feel bad about that. So you're right. It could be a band you listen to, and you found out later on it totally sucked, or it could be a band you didn't listen to, and you're like, you know what, they actually weren't so bad after all.
Oh, that's tough.
I know. I asked the hard-hitting questions here on 6 Deep.
Dude, that happened to me with that TV show Lost. Everybody was so into Lost, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this show. And then later on, I ended up watching it, and it's like one of my favorite shows. God, yeah, I don't know. It just drives me nuts when it seems like people are being like sheeple.
I'll throw another one at you guys. Bob Dylan. Because Bob Dylan's from Minnesota, we're from Minnesota, and we always grew up hearing like, oh my god, Bob Dylan's the greatest thing in the world. And I was just like, screw Bob Dylan, he's awful. Chris and I fall in love with the movie Big Lebowski, and we find out that the song Man and Me, which is like, you know, it's the song that's playing when he's on his magical carpet ride. We both love the song. We both listened to it a million times. We actually play it in our band Depressed Mode, and we never knew that it was Bob Dylan until we looked up the lyrics. So I will fully admit, like, Bob Dylan, a lot cooler than I gave him credit for.
You know, I really was not against listening to the Beatles for a long time just because they're so popular. But I did that, and I was like, man, I you know, because it's the same songs that I would hear on the radio, right?
Yeah.
But then found out that, holy smokes, these guys started off playing like rock and roll and rockabilly stuff, and and it was awesome, And then I felt like a dick for being like, the Beatles, I don't see what everybody's seeing them,
Dude, I could go on like an hour-long thing. I'll try to not do that. But like straight up, the way people talk about the Beatles like drives me so fucking nuts. Like, if you ask any person anywhere, what's your favorite band? Everybody's like, the Beatles. It's like this,
definitely the Beatles.
it's like a knee-jerk reaction right now. Fucking kills me, man. It's like, name one song. I'm not saying this about you, but like it's just everywhere. When you're a musician, everybody's like, oh, so you automatically have to love the Beatles, right? I'm like, no, I don't even like the Beatles, and there's nothing fucking wrong with that. Like, it's like a cult, man. People have to like the Beatles if you're a musician.
I'll say that too. That's another band that kind of falls into that same scope because I because of the praise of the Beatles, I was like, fuck the Beatles, because it was all, when we were growing up, it was all about punk. It was like the punk thing to do is to not like what people told you to like. And then we heard Eddie Vedder did that song for that Sean Penn movie. He did the cover of the Beatles,
Hide Your Love Away. Yeah,
Hide Your Love Away. And I thought that was a phenomenal song, and then I find out that it was just Eddie Vedder covering a Beatles song. There you go. Now I guess I'm a Beatles fan. But for me, it was the Yellow Submarine and all the bullshit that they tied onto it that I was like, I don't know, I'm not into it.
Right.
But dude,
that was Ben Folds 5 with Golden Slumbers. When I heard that song from I Am Sam, I was like, that's a Beatles song?
Right?
Hey.
Damn.
Dude, that's
Ben Folds 5. That Golden Slumbers, Golden Slumbers.
So there was multiple Beatles covers on I Am Sam then?
No, he's just
I
talking.
think they were all Beatles songs, I think, done by different bands.
Really?
Oh shit, that I didn't know.
Dude, I am learning some shit right now. If that's true, that's awesome. And that makes sense too. That's why probably Eddie Vedder would do that. Dude, I'm learning so much right now. This is nuts.
Oh, how about, I just heard, speaking of weird covers, not to get off the subject, but
no, this is perfect, yeah.
Do it anyway. I heard, I didn't get to hear the song, and I was pretty ticked off, but they were doing kind of a Willie Nelson birthday thing, the other day, because it was just his birthday.
Yeah.
And
happy birthday, Willie.
And they played, him and his son did, gosh dang it, now I'm forgetting, the Eddie Vedder song. Oh man, see, I just failed. It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Shit, I hate that. I had that happen to me earlier today.
Shit, I can't think of it. But anyway, I knew what I was going to say.
Yeah, dude.
See what happens when I don't drink, guys?
Yeah, right. So
that happens to us like 50 times in the space of a show, which is like an hour. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I literally couldn't remember a mountain range in Washington, and Chris and I literally did a documentary on it. It's like the guys that should absolutely know what that thing is called should be us, and I still can't remember. I still want to say Shasta, and it's not Mount Shasta.
It's not Shasta.
God damn it! If I get this show is going to be so great. I just need to remember what it is. It's not the Appalachians. It's not.
Is it Sirens? I can't remember if it's Sirens or not. It's on the same album. Anyway, forget it. But Willie and his son did a cover of it, and I was like, that's got to be pretty sweet, for them to cover a Eddie Vedder song.
Wait, Willie's
really? I didn't hear
son's
about
into
that.
music or something? I'm learning about this too. What's that all about?
I think and his daughter does music too, man.
Dude, that's nuts. Chris Cornell's daughter just did a I'm Going Hungry cover on YouTube, and I thought that was badass.
Little Temple of the Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going hungry, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm going hungry.
It's on the table.
It's on the
I can't sing that song.
table.
I'm kinda hungry
Food is
myself.
cooking. Oh, my
I
God.
heard Post Malone just did a bunch of Nirvana covers.
Oh, I heard about that too, but it's the same thing where I'm like, you know what? Because everybody's like, I really enjoyed that. I'm like,
Thank
you know
you.
what? Fuck that. I'm not
Thank
watching
you.
that shit.
And not only that, but the face tattoo thing. What is going on with the face tattoo thing? All of a sudden, like, face tattoos are in, and people are like, you know what?
There's no fucking way that's staying in vogue. I'm telling you.
I love somebody had made a meme or something or a comment about how what's up with all these rappers looking like doodle bears?
Yeah,
You know,
right?
like from the 90s.
Yeah.
Teddy bears that you just draw.
Yeah, what? I don't
I didn't
understand.
have one, I promise.
There's like a famous comedian. Yeah, there's like a famous comedian now that's got like his whole face is tattooed and everything. I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, I know and like this is not a fundamentalist Christian show, but even the host of this show is even like, what is?
I like Amy Schumer's joke on the Charlie Sheen roast about Mike Tyson. She's like, "Come on, Mike, you have a slutty lower back tattoo on your face." How are we supposed to take you seriously, man? Ah, dude.
Seriously, yeah.
It's so funny.
God damn.
But
No,
then, so here we are being like, I don't know, closed-minded, or for lack of better sounding word,
It's totally right.
you know, to what people are telling us to listen to because it's new and like hip. But we also want to make songs that are our own and then put them out there and be like, hey, you guys should listen to my new song I put out or whatever. And
It's
like, no,
extremely
not to
true.
listen to it 'cause it's still
and then everybody says that fucking sucks. Nobody likes that shit. Yeah,
Even if-
music.
The baptism
Music is
of
the
fire.
ultimate lesson in humility. Yeah, that's all I've learned in my brief music career.
It's like, yeah,
But, you know, so it's like, how can we expect anyone to listen to stuff they haven't heard before if we're not willing to listen to stuff we haven't heard before?
that's extremely
God damn
true,
it, Ben.
man.
You're right. You're right.
Sage.
Yeah, because I was just
Sage
sitting here saying
wisdom.
like, oh, how do we listen to new music? And then you're like Post Malone. I'm like, fuck that guy. And it's like, no, that's the guy you should be listening to right now. You know, Kanye's over. It's Post Malone's world now.
Still want to say fuck that, but anyways, I'm sure there's some really bitchin' local bands that we should be listening to, and maybe not Post Malone,
God, I don't
or
know.
maybe that too. But I'm not. I'm
Well,
just
no,
not.
like,
Sorry, that's one of those like firm fuck no's. I'm just gonna be
I'm gonna take Snoop Dogg in the ring, right? Because Snoop Dogg came in and he said like, "What's up with all the new rappers or whatever?" And they're just like,
all the backpack.
Oh, the mumble rap.
Yeah, the mumble rappers and stuff. So even Snoop Dogg called that out, and Snoop Dogg, of course, is the ultimate aficionado of anything cool in the music
what
industry.
the fuck's the point of crafting rhymes and being like super dope in the delivery and working hard in the studio when another guy can like just fucking mumble out the same shit? And it's like, yeah, they get the same rhythm on all of them for all their verses. It's a small group of people, but we know who they are. I don't know. It seems lazy. It just seems like riding the wave, man. Just doing what everybody else is doing.
Dude, Ben, have you heard of the lo-fi Japanese hip hop yet?
Like, no. The last thing I've heard from Japanese was like of J-pop and how that's a real big deal.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. K-pop. Oh, that's probably way bigger. Yeah.
Like they're coming back. Like it's almost like the New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, but it's like Korean,
Dude.
South Korean. Let me clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, K-pop. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, the North Koreans, they haven't taken off as much yet, but you're totally right though. For whatever reason I pulled up Gangnam Style on YouTube like a while ago because I was looking at like the top rated YouTube videos of all time, and Gangnam Style is like 250 million views or just something ridiculous, you know. And then,
Oh my goodness,
dude, he did like the same song, I guess, but with this like K-pop star, this hot Korean chick or whatever, and even that song got like 50 million views or something, you know. And they were demonstrating that like K-pop can get more viewership on YouTube than like any American song. Because I think Justin Bieber's like, what was the song that he came out with like that everybody's going nuts for? Did he do Despacito? I can't remember. That wasn't him.
Justin Bieber? No fucking way.
well, which one? I didn't hear what you said there, Matt.
There was like one of Justin Bieber's last song came out right around the same time as Despacito or whatever. You know, that song that like everybody was enamored with like 2 years ago. And
Love Yourself song.
was
Don't
it?
Love Yourself, that acoustic one.
Shit, maybe it was. I don't know. I'm so not up on Justin
the one where
Bieber.
it's like we're at a party and we both don't want to be here. That song. I don't know the title. See?
Yeah.
I don't even look. I've heard it on the radio, but that's about it.
No idea.
Dude, yeah, I don't know, but it's like whatever it was, one of Bieber's songs was like top 3 most famous videos or something on YouTube, and like all the K-pop shit just destroyed it. I mean, it was like, it's ridiculous. The famous K-pop people have like hundreds of millions of views on their videos. It's insane.
Well, do either of you guys know the payout ratio thing? For however many 100,000 views you get, it's like $70,000.
Oh yeah.
For advertising.
Chris might have an answer for that. I think I have an answer for it too. Yeah. So I'll see what.
Fuck, I don't know.
If Chris doesn't,
My channel was making money on YouTube. It was like in 2017 or 18 or something like that, and that was before YouTube changed a bunch of shit. It was like half a cent per click or something like that, and then Google AdSense would pay out like $100.
So
minimum. So if you made $100, they would pay you. If you couldn't hit that mark, then they wouldn't pay you or whatever.
The other thing too, when you're talking about like the monetization of YouTube,
But it was pay per click.
yeah, there's like a couple of different things. So there's the view count on YouTube that gets you paid. So it's not only how many views you got, it's the duration of how long they watched the video, and that also determines the payout. And then there's a whole nother fold, which is the ads for YouTube. So if your show is monetizable and it's playing ads, and if people made it all the way through the ads, or if they clicked on the ad and went through it, then that's another payout scale. So it used to be pretty linear. Like if you had 1 million views, you'd get X amount of money. Now it's like you could have 1 million views and not play any ads, and therefore you only make like a couple $100. Or you had 1 million views and you had like 15 ads through the whole video, and you made like 15 grand or something. So it's not it's not a linear scale anymore. But that's like so crazy to think about, because there was a guy that had like 3,000 subscribers, and he's like, I'm making more money with 3,000 subscribers than a lot of people are with like 100 or with like 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers. I don't know. That stuff's like mind-boggling though.
It is. It makes you want to go a different direction. I'm sitting here, I'm going, maybe I should start writing like a screenplay or something, or like, get into writing. Look for other royalties, if like some sort of way to make residual income aside from writing a song.
Dude, that's true too, because musicians historically have made most of their money through royalties, record sales, live performances, things like that. And now, especially with the whole COVID thing, nobody's doing live performances. So I wonder if all these musicians are just making their royalties off of like what Spotify plays or something, or like I have no idea where they're getting their money from now.
And I don't know. I have too much. All my knowledge that I have is too much hearsay. I don't have any like true facts, which isn't going to help anybody out. But at least it strikes a little bit of a conversation, I guess.
Yeah, and then the good news is this show has nothing to do with facts. Fact number one, sharks.
I don't think so. You guys throw out some pretty daggum good information as far as I'm concerned sometimes.
You know what? You're right, Ben. This is the greatest program ever made. 6 Deep with your favorite host, Piss and Chris. Coming out with the best content of all time. No, even Piss and Chris get it wrong every now and then. I try. Well, I had the whole facts segment, and then Chris just shit on the facts segment the last show, so now I didn't do facts this episode, and I feel really bad about that. I'm like, Ben wants the facts. He tunes into this program for information, to the pulse of the earth right now,
Hey, that's how I stay up to speed on current events, man.
Yep, and Chris has actually left the show right now. He is actually eating in the kitchen. Chris is officially eating and not doing the show. So, Ben, if you want...
He heard me eating the pizza. I was eating a piece of pizza this whole time. Is that how great the interview is?
Oh, yeah, dude. If you haven't eaten through this show yet, you're not doing it right. That's pretty much our current consensus. Ben, what are you doing in like 15 Minskys here? Are you gonna be free, or are you tied up?
Dude, I'm here. I'll
All right,
probably
man.
just be kind of wrapping some stuff up. Yeah.
Right on, dude. All right, we're gonna end this episode, and I'll give you a call right back here.
All right, man.
All right, talk to you in a few.
I stepped away to get a beer, and I had one cracker. And this kid's saying I'm sitting in the kitchen eating the whole time. Fuck you, dude.
He ate the entire time. All right, Ben, I'm going to give you a call back in a couple of minutes here.
I grabbed a cracker.
All right, but All right.
This kid's making it sound like I'm just standing over there.
No, every 5 minutes this kid gets up
Feverish.
and he
Oh,
just
fuck
disappears from the set. And I'm like, where did he go? Where did he go? But what people don't know is that the Piss and Chris set it's a 4,000 square foot unit that we're in right now, and then we just have. Oh my god. Play the Thank you. 4,000 square foot studio. We use 10 square feet to make the set. And right over there is the kitchen. And that's where Chris eats for half of the show. So, you guys, I can't believe it. We made it through. Probably
grabbed a cracker. We haven't eaten at all today.
You know what? I can
That's why
definitively
the
say.
show revolved around food for most.
I can definitively say now that this was the best episode we've ever had. We had a legendary guest, Ben, that I've always tried to get on
I'm
the show.
so stoked. We talked about this like weeks ago with Ben, and
Yeah.
we finally. You know what? I'm not going to take credit for this. Piss, you finally were able to set that up.
Well, and I think there's like
with
a
Ben.
there's
Sorry,
a-
you
there's-
and Ben get all the credit. No, I don't
Ben,
want to make it sound
Ben
like-
gets all the credit. Ben did
Thank
all
you,
the hard
Ben.
work. Thank you so
Ben,
much to Ben.
we love you, dude.
But I think
I'm
it's
reaching
such,
through the screen right now to tell
it's
you.
such a poetic moment in time for Six Deep right now that we've always wanted Ben to be on the show. And today was the day that we actually got him on here, and he delivered some of the best content I've ever heard ever on any podcast. We learned a lot about the music industry, where it's going.
I just like talking to Ben.
Yeah,
Just a
we
good
love
dude.
Ben. Ben's a solid dude. We're so thankful to have him
More
as a
than
buddy
talking
here.
with Ben, I like.
Making love to Ben,
That's what I immediately thought it sounded like.
having sex with Ben.
I like jamming with Ben.
Jamming with Ben. Yeah, no, that was way better. What
He's
did I
a
say?
good musician, and our two feng shuis meet. Beer
No,
foam.
I will say on behalf of both of you guys, like Chris has made some incredible music in his day, the day that he had.
I have tried to make music.
Yeah, but like, and I've heard a lot of people like work with Chris and do the harmonies and stuff. And Aaron Peterson, one of the greatest guitar players of all time, he did the second best harmony with you ever. And then
Aaron did a good one. Yeah,
he's solid, dude. And oh my god, we just listened to some of the old Black Opal music, and Aaron Peterson just destroyed.
Aaron. Well, okay, yeah. He was in one song. He was in Oh Well.
AP?
Yeah, for the background vocals.
Well, no, I'm just talking about in general with guitar.
Oh.
He did.
Oh, well, with the guitar.
That's what I'm
God
saying,
damn
dude.
it.
The guy is just insane. Like
I thought you
probably
were
one
talking
of the
about, like-
best guitar prodigies I've ever seen in my life. AP. I
Somehow
hope
I
he's
got
got
sidetracked.
I
No,
hope he's got like
sheer
a music
guitar
page or
talent,
something.
no.
I'm gonna try and find out if he's got like a music page because I
Aaron
would
and
love
Ben-
to share it to this channel here.
Aaron and Ben are the two guitar players that I've actually gotten to play
Yeah.
with where they're like
I just
they're
adjusted my balls on camera.
I know these cheers suck, but they're so
So bad.
good. It's like that thing where they're so good when you play with them, you actually get better because you can't like help but you're like, oh fuck, that's how you do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that
But again, like
just
the
do,
second
like,
time I was really like shaken in just local music and stuff. Like the second time I just saw.
we
a guy and
can't
I was
leave
like,
out
oh my
Do
God.
Rob for
Well,
drummers and stuff, but that's
we're
a
not-
whole separate category.
I'd have to take a whole nother show to talk about all the stuff for Rob. I mean, when you guys were in Pachyderm and Rob like was playing the drumsticks, and he did it on Ben's bass. Or on your bass
Don't
that
hit
Ben was
me.
playing. But he was like, Rob was like playing drums. He's like, and then he plays the bass strings. It's like,
that
it's
was
like
pretty-
so insanely
That's
cool.
super dope. That was at
but
Pachyderm
Ben,
where Nirvana recorded in
when
utero.
when you started practicing, you got Josh and Ben and all that kind of stuff for Chris's group, the Carlisle group, which we're going to play some music from the Carlisle group on here for sure. It's going to happen.
Should have had a better name, but yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. But I hear Ben. He's got a voice like a god.
Oh,
And
the name thing
dude,
was my
even
fault.
his phone voice. Let's be real, that's sexy as hell. That was some of the coolest. He's just a cool dude.
No, Ben
And-
was definitely the puss hound of the band. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
dude could get
definitely
he was
the
getting laid
finest
more
women
than the rest
were,
of us.
were acquired by Ben. But I heard him do the harmony with you. The guy's bass skills are
Sharp
just insane.
dresser, you know.
Yeah, super sharp dresser. Guys just totally amazing in all regards. And
Basically, Matt's trying to say he wants to make love to Ben.
I full disclosure do. I wanna
You just made it
I
weird.
wanna-
You just made it weird.
How did I
Anyways,
make it
move on
weird?
to the next thing. You made it weird. I don't know. I can't help you. Anyways, move.
I made it weird.
So moving on.
That I was
Ben's
talking about
awesome.
my thing that I would.
Ben's
like-
fun to play music with and jam with, and Matt's got some kind of weird sex thing going on. So sorry about that. that part, Ben. But like, dude,
how was it
thank you
weird?
so much for being on the show. Piss, I'm gonna pick some music here to cue us out
Yeah,
for
guys.
the evening.
I think
we've gotten ourselves
I
in
think
enough
we've
trouble.
We've definitely done it again.
close
We've
her
made
out,
the
buddy.
best episode that we've ever made, and we're so privileged that you guys could be here to witness it. The first of many viewers.
Can't believe it's just the
first
best
of
episode. It's just,
2.2
like,
billion viewers
so
to just
amazing.
absorb this program as its favorite pastime.
The
replacing
second half of this
baseball.
episode with Ben in it, best episode ever.
Absolutely.
First half with just you and me in it,
Still really good. Solid. Top
Yeah.
5. Top 5. But Ben really he really pushed it over the curve. We're so thankful to have Ben. We're so thankful that you guys tuned in. Until next time, you've been watching the greatest media sensation to hit the world by storm. This is 6 Deep with your favorite host, Piss and Chris, and we'll see you next time on 6 Deep. And then Chris does something.
and I plugged in the thing that plays the music.
Well,
Here we go.
old
Now
machine.
this is
6 Deep.
Now I don't have to question where you were last night, 'cause I already know what you will say. I already know you lied, but I can't be mad at you, 'cause there's something that you don't know, that when you're gone I do my own thing, and I catch a bone while you're dogging me. When you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. Even when you're out making love, don't think I'm not. When you're feeling good in somebody's spot, getting hot, don't stop. Just don't think I'm not, 'cause I'm not getting mine. When you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. Even when you're out making love, don't think I'm not. When you're feeling good in somebody's spot, getting hot, don't stop. Just don't think I'm not, 'cause I'm not getting mine. When I try to get your attention, you ignore me every time. You were so caught up doing your dirt that you didn't notice mine. Well, I couldn't put up with your scheming, and I couldn't put up with your lies. They say two wrongs won't make it right, but it's suiting me just fine. When you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. Even when you're out making love, don't think I'm not. Don't think I'm not. Somebody's spot getting hot, don't stop. Just don't think I'm not. 'Cause I'm not getting mine. When you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. Even when you're out making love, don't think I'm not. When you're feeling good in somebody's spot, getting hot, don't stop. Just don't think I'm not. 'Cause I'm not getting mine. Don't be surprised to know that sometimes women play the field. You may not believe it, but it's real. The game is so real, so real, so real. Oh, don't think we won't do it. When you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. Don't think when you're out making
It was the Cascade Mountain Range in Washington. I totally got it. This is 6 Deep. Talk to you guys later.
Getting